Thank you for coming back to the channel. This video for some will be tough to watch, especially if you have ever experienced any type of sexual misconduct in your life. Backstory: the young lady was getting the gentleman ready for the chiropractor or in the chiropractor facility. The gentleman, who they say has mental issues and did not take his mental health medicine to help him with his mental health, exposed itself to the young lady. Now the young lady is going to be testifying how she felt, how it made her felt, and she begged the judge not to give him any type of restitution, any type of bond. She felt that he should have been locked up. Her rebuttal was, I didn't do anything to him. I was just getting everything prepped. I turned around and the individual exposed themselves to me. A lot of people are using this mental health as an excuse for some of their actions. Even the mental health know what they're doing right or wrong. The mental health know what they're doing right or wrong. Now, sometimes they can't control it. That is true. Some people cannot control their extremities and their actions because a lot of it is mental. But some people are playing that Uno card too much. It's like a draw four card. I did this, mental health. I did this, mental health. Some people have mental health. You can tell this individual has mental health, but some people are using it as an excuse. And in hindsight, he definitely has mental health, and he definitely have to take his medicine. And when people don't take their medicine and they know they need to take their medicine, they shouldn't get no leeway. No leeway should come their way. But nevertheless, for the people that don't know me, my name is Antonio with Team Tiggio. Please support the channel through Cash App, Super Chat. Like the video, hit the notification bell. We'll come at you in the end.
Raise your right hand for me, Mr. Duffy. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. You're before the court on 2024 CR 01474 for sexual battery count 1, public indecency count 2. You're represented by attorney Chelsea Hahn with the law firm of Lister, Holt, and Dennis. Ms. Hahn, are there any concerns?
Yes, Your Honor. So Mr. Taylor and I are kind of tag teaming on this one. So there were mental health concerns. I went back and I looked at the video, and it looks like back in, I think, April, we had announced that there was supposed to be a mental health evaluation, but an order, we never sent in an order. And so Ms. Gross found it on a jail audit. I immediately went to go visit Mr. Duffy, and he's been medicated since he's been in the jail. And now, after speaking to him, both myself and Mr. Taylor believe that he is competent. He also has a pending VOP that's holding him here, aside from our case in Superior Court. So it's not that our case would have released him. So nevertheless, now that we believe that he is competent, we're ready to enter a plea. And I think Mr. Taylor had worked that out, but there are concerns, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
We intend to enter a plea to both counts. However, it's non-negotiated. We have not reached an agreement with the state, who are asking for a full 12 months to serve. Mr. Duffy's been in custody since January of this year. I don't have the exact date in front of me, but it's been close to 7 months, and we're asking for a sentence of 9 months, Your Honor, rather than 12 months. So an additional 3 months with credit for time served going back to January of this year.
All right. What is the plea that you all intend to enter for Mr. Duffy?
No. No, Your Honor, on both counts.
So, Mr. Duffy, how old are you, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
How old are you?
I'm 36.
Okay. And do you understand where you are today?
Yes, ma'am.
Where are you?
I'm at Clayton County Courthouse.
Okay. So you understand that you have some charges that your attorneys are helping you deal with?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And they've explained to you that you're not entering a guilty plea, but you are asking the court to resolve your charges today?
Yes, ma'am.
So you understand that if you wanted to, you could take this matter to trial and have a trial on these offenses. You understand? Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
But instead, you're going to enter a plea saying that you're not contesting it, but that you're not entering a guilty plea.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have any questions for me?
Do you have any questions for the judge?
I don't know how much time do I have to serve.
Okay, we're going to work that out. That's what one of the things we're going to talk about. Have you been receiving your medication in the jail?
Yes, ma'am.
And you feel like your medication is helping with your issues?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Okay. All right. Let's see. All right. So by entering the NOLO plea, you're giving up the right to go to trial or to have a trial in these cases. You're also giving up the right to not say anything or not incriminate yourself. You give up the right to provide any evidence on your behalf. And you're giving up the right to be considered innocent because you're entering a plea of NOLO. And by doing so, the state doesn't have to prove the case against you. You and the state are going to agree about what happened. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. And are you a United States citizen, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You were born and raised here in the United States.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So this plea should not affect your immigration status in any way. All right. So, do you understand what I've said to you, or do you have any questions for me?
No.
Yeah. Do you understand first what I've said?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions for me?
Do you have any additional questions for the judge?
Or for us.
For us, either one.
I got a question for.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Your Honor,
Yes, ma'am.
initially we had asked for 9 months because the VOP, he was told at his VOP that he might get 3 months, but we're going to change our ask to credit for time served on our charges here in state court because we would like it for that to be resolved by the time he gets to his VOP, that if they were to release him, there would be nothing else holding him at all, not even for 1 day. Your Honor, I don't believe that Mr. Duffy is a danger, considering the fact that he's been medicated. From the time that I've met him first to now, it's a complete 180. So Your Honor, I don't believe that he's a risk, but we would like to resolve this case in its entirety, including the time before his VOP if possible.
and he'll still be.
Okay, what's the VOP up for? What's the charge?
The VOP, Your Honor, Mr. Duffy had a felony sentence and probation for stealing a car. He served a year, I believe a year at Coastal, and then was out on probation. And this charge is the basis for the violation of probation. So once this is resolved, he'll go forward with his VOP hearing in Superior Court, where Mr. Duffy has told me that he's been informed they anticipate a 3-month sentence and then close that case. That's the reason why I initially asked for 3 months beyond what he's currently served. However, if they address his VOP and they give him less than 3 months, then that we do not want our sentence to hold him. However, it is possible that they may give him more than 3 months if he has longer than 3 months on his remaining balance.
Okay, what's the likelihood that because it's a theft case, but what's the likelihood that the VOP will include some form of mental health counseling, treatment, supervision, anything like that?
I haven't spoken to his attorney in Superior Court, Your Honor. I personally just met with Mr. Duffy yesterday to go over his case. Ms. Hahn, do you have any additional information?
No, Your Honor, I haven't spoken to his public defender.
Oh, okay. All right, so let me hear the facts of the case and the state's suggestion for the sentence.
Yes, Your Honor. On or about December 30th of 2023, Lieutenant X, as in X-Ray Todd, responded to 1544 South Lake Parkway, Suite 9G, located in Clayton County, Georgia. This is actually the Iceberg, ICE, B as in boy, ERG health chiropractor. And the nature of the call was in reference to a public indecency. Upon Officer Todd's arrival, he met with the victim, Johanna, Johana, Cambrum, C as in cat, AM, B as in boy, RON, who advised that she is an employee of the business location. Ms. Cambrum stated that while she was cleaning a chiropractor chair with her back turned away from the defendant standing before you, that is when the defendant pushed up against her buttocks, at which time she walked away. And when she turned around, she noticed that the defendant with his penis exposed. Officer Todd did speak with a witness who was identified as Dr. Mika, M-E-K-A, Kennedy, Kennedy, and she stated that she did notice the defendant acting strange, at which time she noticed him approach the victim and push up against her. The witness, Dr. Kennedy, stated that when she saw the victim walk away, she did notice the defendant turn around with his penis exposed. Officer Todd was able to review the surveillance footage, and he did notice the defendant in the treatment area with 4 females, including the victim. Officer Todd noticed that the defendant did take out his penis out of his pants and approach the victim and push up against her buttocks, at which time the victim walked away from the defendant. The defendant was actually arrested and charged for the charges before you. Your Honor, at this time, the state's recommendation for count 1 is 12 months to serve, and also for count 2, 12 months to serve to all 1 concurrent. Your Honor, we do ask that you not accept a NOLO plea simply because there are witnesses according to the report, and there is video footage that Officer Todd did see. So we do ask that you not accept the NOLO and that you do accept the state's recommendation. Thank you.
Additionally, Your Honor, the victim, I believe, is on and does wish to make a statement.
All right. Well, I would like to hear from the victim in this case.
Hello. So, yes, I agree with the assistant exfoliator. I
Okay.
think you should not
Miss-
get a
Ms. Cameron?
yes.
I gotta see you, ma'am, because
Okay,
I gotta swear you
turn
in.
on my now. Okay.
Okay, tell me what's going on.
Okay, so I do agree with the assistant consolidator because I think we should not get a NOLO. Um, yeah, that's all I can say.
Okay,
And Your Honor, I
so
do have a question for the victim as well, if you
Yes,
don't mind.
go ahead, Ms.
it's fine.
Hagler.
Thank you, Ms. Cameron. Do you know exactly where the defendant lives?
No,
You're not, okay. Thank you.
Ms. Cameron, so so the understanding that I have is that not to lessen what happened to you, not to say that he's not responsible for what happened to you, but my understanding is that Mr. Duffy has some mental health issues that he's been medicated for since that time. So the consideration on the table for the court is whether he spends the 7 months that he spent in jail and he still will remain in jail because he has another case that is going to be adjudicated by another judge. And I'm not sure when that will take place or what that other judge will do. But is there anything that you wanted to address about the fact that he's already been in jail for 7 months and potentially has the potential to be in jail for several more months?
so if someone has a mental problem, they have to take medication. They cannot just walk around harming other people.
I got
See, if
you.
you go to the doctor, when you're born, the doctor checks you. You go to what's it called? He came to the chiropractic office. When patient first gets here, we ask them what's going on. We ask them about depression and if they're taking something for depression, anxiety, or anything like that. And if he has a mental problem, he should take his medicine. He cannot go around the whole world hurting someone and not hurting someone that did anything to him. I didn't do anything to him. I was just doing my job. And he came for about 7 visits, and I had a chance to talk to him, take him to each treatment, and he should have taken his medicine.
I understand.
If he could have done that, he could have not been in jail. But he shouldn't have harmed me.
You're right. And I hear exactly what you're saying. I'm sorry that you went through this and that you were a victim of this. And so I just wanted to kind of get your thoughts on what's going on. So I got kind of 2 things that are on the table for consideration. And that is whether he will be able to enter a NOLO plea, or whether he will spend additional time in jail on this sentence. But because it's not negotiated, is there a history other than? I'm sorry, Ms. Cameron. Thank you for your response. Is there anything on his record from the state that would give me pause with respect to whether I give him additional time or whether I give him credit for time served?
Now, let me do some research on that. And before I do that, do you mind if I ask Ms. Cameron one more question?
Sure, go ahead.
Ms. Cameron,
Cameron.
is she still on? Let's see.
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay. If the defendant were to get out, do you have any fear of retaliation, or are you afraid of him?
I am afraid of him. I just never want to see him in my life, though.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so I can make it that he, as part of the sentence, that he does not come back to the location or that he has no contact with you. And if those parts of his sentence were violated, then he would be able to be arrested for that. So I'm
let me do the research on the history. Give me 1 second, Your Honor, please.
Okay. Okay. All right. Just give me a moment. And Ms. Hagler, when you have that information, just let me know.
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, I've completed my research.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, so after review of the defendant's history, I do not see any other sexual misconduct. The only thing that did raise a concern, and I'm not sure if this has already been handled or not, but he does have a hijacking and aggravated assault on his history, which occurred in 2021. So I'm not sure if that case has already been addressed or not, but that was the only thing that stuck out to me. But he doesn't have any additional sexual misconduct, just those two. Again, aggravated assault and hijacking. on May 13th of 2021.
Okay. All right. So this is what I'm going to do. The defendant will enter a plea of guilty, but I will allow him to have credit for time served for the 7 months that he served. He's to not go back to the location of the incident, the chiropractic office. He's to have no contact with Joanna Cambrone. See, that's about all I have, I think. Is there anything else I need to address?
Nothing from the state. So I guess if he's giving community time served, will the balance, we're just asking that the balance be probated in that case, Your Honor.
Well, he's already on a probated sentence, isn't that correct? Or parole sentence, which is it?
It's a probated sentence, Your Honor.
Probated, okay.
Yeah, I'll suspend, but as long as he, doesn't have any contact with Ms. Cabron or go back to that location. If he were to do so, then the case could be brought back and he could be arrested.
Thank you, Judge.
Your Honor,
All right.
That Mr. Duffy, he was at the location in legitimate business. So I've informed him that if he needs chiropractic care, he was involved in an auto accident. So if he needs additional chiropractic care, he cannot go to that location. He has to seek another chiropractic provider. So he understands fully that he cannot go back to that place. And to avoid any contact with Ms. Cabron, I don't believe there's, if he has no reason to go to the location, he will not have any contact. I don't anticipate that to be a problem.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Can I get the address of the location?
Can we get the
Again?
address and name of the chiropractic office?
Yes, Your Honor. The name of the office is ICE, B as in boy, ERG, Health hyphen chiropractor. And then
Okay.
the address is 1544 South Lake Parkway.
Okay, so thank you for all who sat through this video. Like I told everyone, this video was definitely for some part tough to watch. You could tell that the gentleman had mental health issues, but you also heard the pain in the victim's voice, where she didn't want the gentleman to get any type of restitution because what he did to her was avoidable. He didn't have to expose himself to her. You know why? Because he could have took his mental health medication to get himself on the straight and narrow. And I tell people, one of the hardest jobs are plumbers. One of the hardest jobs is laying concrete, landscaping, building a house, but also being an attorney for some of these people that's going to jail. That is a hard job, and it's a job that people have to do. There are tough jobs in this life. This life is a mystery, and we all are living in a mysterious world. We're here for a period of time, and then we transition into something else, another part of a life form. But then you get good people on this earth who goes through life, don't even get a head cold. And then you get some people that is hell on wheels. Nevertheless, thank you for supporting the channel through Cash App, Super Chat. Hit the like button, notification bell after you subscribe so you know when we're dropping more videos. And once again,